devil wants this. Society has broken down the family construct.
I do blame the mainstream media.
I see the West as genuinely lost to Shaitan.
Of course, everything's God's plan.
Guys, welcome to Tomo Talks. We're going to uncover the truth together.
That's when I realized, wow, the healthcare system is rigged.
Anything you eat, drink, consume, it's actually destructive for the human body.
What's the real pandemic?
To be successful in business, you got to be healthy.
This is going to be a money talk, bro.
Money is a scorecard. Play the game right, the money will come.
I think we should begin setting unreasonable goals for ourselves.
I don't want to make $1 million a day. I want to make $1 million an hour.
I figured out that retirement is really a psyop. Men need to be around other men if they want to get stuff done.
What color is your Bugatti?
If you would have been at this mindset 100 years ago, you'd be dead.
Society has made women think they have to be this boss babe.
I'm trying to get pregnant like a man, Tomo.
It takes a village to raise a child.
Loneliness is a powerful tool.
We've lost touch with that because the feminist movement told us that was weak.
Why would God let these bad things happen to me?
That is just a test of faith.
We really need to focus on the future.
The only way to combat fake news is drown it out with better quality information.
David, welcome to Florida, bro. You're going to you're going to Philippines when? Tomorrow? Today?
So I go to Bangkok and then the Philippines and then Hong Kong in about a week.
Wow.
Yeah, so I leave on Thursday, so a few days, yeah.
So I know you. A lot of people in the clinic know who you are. Give a quick intro, because to me, before we met, now we're friends.
Yeah.
Maybe getting married in some business transactions too. But you're my stem cell guy. You're my stem cell CEO guy.
Yeah, so I mean, my journey is kind of interesting. When I grew up with very much a medical mindset from my parents. My parents are both RNs and NPs, and they do a lot in the medical space their whole life. My dad, he was with pharmaceuticals. He was with Warner Lambert, Pfizer. He ended his career with Genentech and Roche. So when I was younger, the UPS truck would come up, and I would literally thousands of boxes we would pull out from the UPS truck and load them into my dad's office.
Wow.
And he was doing pharmaceuticals. Now, this is in the 80s and 90s. And at the time, there was a little less regulation, and pharmaceutical sales people were going out to every office, and they're handing out pens and packets of pills and
drugs.
everything. Drugs. Like, I mean, I had stacks of Tamiflu. So I joke with people that, like, I've moved more drugs than almost anyone.
I was going to say, yeah, that's like they were the biggest drug dealers for a long time. They kind of still are.
Yeah, it's just different now. They don't do as much sampling. It's a lot more formal.
Yeah.
And back in the day, it was lots of lunches with doctors and more incentives and things like that. And so I think from that perspective, it probably is good. But they still do a lot of kickbacks from the pharmaceutical companies to drug companies.
Can't say that out loud.
Okay, well,
I'm joking, bro.
Okay, well,
it's what it is. It's real.
That's just what it was.
It's real. No, it's real. I talk about it all the time.
Yeah, they have major incentives for doctors' offices if they hit certain quotas and things like that. But so I grew up with really that very much a Western mindset around medicine.
Western medicine, modern medicine.
Western medicine. And my younger brother, I mean, he did his residency at Harvard. He's a MD in Texas.
Yeah. Come on, come serve us while we're talking, please.
Wow,
Thank you guys. You guys are gonna, this is great.
Nothing but the best from Tomo. So I had that real Western side of medicine, and then my sister's a nurse, my brother-in-law's a PA.
Yeah.
And so I had a lot of that pushing growing up, and then I realized when I think I was about 16, 17, my brother had injured himself, his
Thanks.
leg, and my dad was stitching him up in the bathroom. And while he was stitching him up, he calls me in and says, "David, I need your help holding some of this, I think it was gauze or something." And there's blood going all over, and I said, "I got to get out of here," because I couldn't stand the blood. I felt kind of queasy.
Really?
Yeah. And so I decided, that's when I realized that, maybe the medical field is not directly where I want to be.
Okay.
And before that, I wanted to be a heart surgeon. That's what I brought a full heart to one of my, I think it was 5th or 6th grade science fair, I went and got a cow heart, and I brought it in and showed everyone the arteries and things like that. So I was really fascinated from a young age about how the body works.
Awesome.
And why certain actions lead to certain diseases. And I remember researching about cancers of the lungs and seeing how smoking is directly correlated to that. And so it's always been something that's very interesting to me.
So you were going into you were deep diving.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I liked going deep and researching. And well, when I was 19, 20 years old, I went to Thailand, and I was there for 2 years as a service missionary. And while I was there, I learned a lot about a different mindset and the Asian way of doing things, and looking at it from an Eastern and more philosophical, and seeing the body as a whole organism working together and based on emotions and what you're eating. Lots more integrated.
It's a way different mindset.
It's
almost a
different.
180.
Yeah, well, so like here in the U.S. example, Europe, same way. You have doctors that super hyper specialize. So like there'll be ear, nose, and throat. And if you have something with your arm, they don't touch it. Very, very, very hyper focused. And I think there's a real place for that, and it's very good. But I think there needs to be a little bit more stepping back and saying, okay, well, why are you having this issue? Why is your thyroid having an issue? And let's look at the whole body. And that's where I think Western medicine can learn from Eastern medicine a little bit more. So I started to explore that. And then I got into supplements around, I think I was about 22 years old.
Like nutritional supplements?
Nutritional supplements. Okay. And the first product I developed was actually a horse product. It was for animals. So I was working with Regenerative Downs, Santa Ana Park, some of the top horse racers, and veterinarians and MDs and PhDs looking at how nutrition affects the animals. And it's very similar to humans. The difference is there's really no placebo effect with animals. So like when if I give you like this tea, let's say the tea doesn't have anything in it, but you mentally think that it's going to help you feel
better.
Like
if it's caffeine or no caffeine.
Right,
thing?
Exactly. And so if you have that, you can change the way things work for you. And with animals, there's no placebo effect. It either works or it doesn't work. And so that's what's interesting. This is why animal studies are always beneficial for different products, because if you have a test that shows a positive effect with an animal, there's no placebo there. And so I developed a product. We did about $30 million in our first month of first year of sales with that product, and that launched my career into health and wellness, nutrition side, and supplements. And I've formulated a lot of products. I can look at any product and tell you, hey, this should be changed. This is better. Can you
show which ones are kind of BS? Because most of the nutrition supplement industry are complete trash.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I say it all the time.
There's so many fillers. There's a lot of shortcuts taken and marketing. So, I started sourcing from all over the world. And some of the products, I went right to the fishermen in Norway to make sure that we were getting the very best, highest quality fish oil possible, and that it wasn't being refined. And then I went to...
or it's not old, it's not rancid.
Yeah.
That's a huge problem.
Exactly, yeah, and it's the right color. And we went to Nepal for the highest quality... Nepal and the Tibet area for the highest quality sea buckthorn, getting this very rich, organic, natural sea buckthorn berries. And then I went to Latin America, Europe, Asia, all over for these different products. And I learned the importance of sourcing and knowing where your product's from. And that led to, more learning and research. And I've sold probably about $200 million, $250 million worth of supplements through my career. And I've had offices all over Latin America, Asia.
Well, you're well traveled.
And Europe. Yeah, I've traveled quite a bit. I've been very fortunate. And for me, I really do love learning from other people. And I don't think I'm smart enough to not learn something everywhere I go.
Yeah, so I want to fast forward to the regenerative medicine part and the stem cell part a little bit. And Your background's super interesting. And I think a lot from Eastern medicine is kind of where you developed your mindset and your healing, your holistic ideas, things like that, which this is why you and I got along so well.
Yeah.
I mean, you were at my house. We're filming this not too far past Labor Day. Labor Day was Monday, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what day it is, let alone week or month anymore.
Right.
So you were at my house, and me and you spend the holiday together, talking business, talking stuff. We realize how much we have in common.
Yeah.
So go into this regenerative medicine thing. And when I'm saying regenerative medicine, I'm talking about stem cells, exosomes. I'm talking about healing from the inside, kind of giving your body the tools to heal. This is what people are really getting into now. And we're in Florida. We can say stem cells. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because, I mean, this term biologics and regenerative medicine, it's kind of like this all-encompassing. You've got PRP, PRF, you've got prolotherapy, stem cells, exosomes, different allografts, matrices, different things that can be utilized and in that category. And what's exciting to me as I look at these things is that when you have biologics that are sourced from the right place and used correctly, you can effectuate major changes in the body.
I feel it. I'm actually getting some stem cells today later after this
awesome.
After this podcast.
Awesome. Well, there's things that, so for me, when I look at biologics, I think this is the perfect merger of, biologics are the perfect merger of Eastern and Western medicine, because you have science-based, natural materials coming together.
Okay.
And I think as we look at biologics and regenerative medicine in general, I think it will be an industry that continues to grow and people continue to accept more and more and more. So for me, it was interesting. I have a condition in my knee called Osgood-Schlatter's.
Have the same condition.
Yeah, it's very common.
Where is it? Which one? This one. This right knee.
Yeah, you have the bump on your knee.
I have the bump on my knee too, yeah.
So essentially what it is underneath your kneecap, you have bone fragments in your ligaments. And for certain people, it can become extremely painful. I was one of those people. Every time I walked upstairs and I played basketball, running, it would hurt for a few days. And it would swell up. So I went to 2 different orthopedic specialists, and they both said the same thing independently. Said, "Oh, we will do the surgery. We go in, we make an incision, we open it up, and we rip out the bones." And they made it seem like really no big deal, Tomo. It wasn't like.
You were young.
Yeah, this was 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
Yeah, so I mean, I was young. I was, 34, 30,
still young,
33.
bro.
Yeah.
Still young, yeah.
So when I went to both these different doctors, they said the same thing. "Oh, we'll do the surgery." And then I looked into the surgery and find out that I'm on crutches for 8 months to 9 months trying to recover.
Nope.
And the success rate of this thing was only 50%. So I was blown away. How do you recommend something that's only 50% chance of working?
Welcome to big medicine and big pharma, people.
And the cost was it was like $30,000 to $50,000.
Wow.
So I didn't feel comfortable with that, and I went to. I have a lot of medical friends, and I talked to some other doctors, and one of the doctor friends says, "David, you should do stem cells." I said, "What are stem cells?" I did not know what stem cells were.
Can you explain what stem cells are to people that, because people, there's a lot of misinformation on the web, right?
Well, I mean, we have stem cells all over our body. And I think of stem cells as a general contractor in our body. And what I mean by that is a stem cell can tell other cells to do things and to build things. And they do that through their intercellular communication, like exosomes and secretomes, microvesicles. So they create these and they send messengers all over. And then they can actually pick up the hammer and start building themselves. And so a stem cell, like when we're in embryo, we're basically a globule of stem cells. Sure. And the cells can, pre-embryo, excuse me, stem cells can then turn into any type of cell in our body. Okay. So a stem cell can turn into chondrocyte cells for our ligaments. It can turn into skin cells. It can turn into hair follicles. It can
stem cells can assign anywhere.
Correct.
Now what about exosomes?
Well, exosomes they're actually not. They're acellular. Exosomes are not technically living. Okay. Exosomes are the messengers. So think of it like this: if you have a lot of exosomes that come into the body, basically it's like you have a ton of messengers saying, "Hey, help here," and it'll tell your body to to help with that area.
Is this why I feel so good after my 240 billion exosomes?
It probably is. I mean, I don't know. Everyone's got their own.
Yeah.
There's no. You have to be careful because some people go into cellular therapy thinking, "Oh, this is going to cure all my problems."
Yeah.
And you have to step back, and again, this is the Eastern medicine. You have to look at, okay, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. Because I've seen people, and there's a lot of people that go to Tijuana or different areas, and they'll say, okay, I got them and I didn't feel anything. Well, they went and partied the night before. They were having alcohol.
They were in Tijuana.
Yeah, they got the therapy, and then they had alcohol the day after.
Yeah.
And they were doing things that weren't what they should be doing to maximize what the treatment they got. So essentially, though, if you take a stem cell, they say stem cells are the building blocks of life.
Yep.
Okay. And when you have the best source of stem cells is from umbilical and placental tissue. Okay. So post-birth, when the baby is healthy and has been born correctly, everything's fine.
Yep.
You can take the placenta and the umbilical cord, and then you can extract the stem cells and the matrix from those materials.
Which is ethical, and I mean, there's
so
because there's some unethical stem cell harvesting out there, which we've talked about before. I think actually he and I talked about before, the embryonic stem cells.
Yeah, and there are companies, a few in Eastern Europe that are doing, basically they're from abortions, and it's very unethical. It's illegal in the U.S., illegal in most countries.
Yeah,
but it's actually not the best source either. The best source is from an
That's what I want
placenta.
people to hear. I want people to hear that it's not the best source because people think it is.
Yeah,
and I'm like that's evil.
Yeah, well,
to me.
The other thing, here's what's interesting. There's been documented cases, several actually, where you have a woman, a woman who's pregnant, birth mother, I'll call her, and she's got cancer throughout her body, and that cancer doesn't transmit to the child.
Okay.
So you have to look at it and say, well, what's happening from the placenta and the umbilical cord? What is it that's stopping those cancer cells and helping that baby develop properly? And I don't have the answer to that, but there's something in there, and it's really magical. If you've ever been to a birth, it's amazing, and it's something that I look at it as very sacred, and I take I think it's something that's really amazing when a woman will say, "Hey, I've now spent 9 months creating this child and loving and nurturing this child," and when the child is born, to say, "Okay, the placenta and umbilical cord can now be donated to help someone else."
Yeah,
and I think that's really amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. So
anyway, I talked to this doctor.
Yeah,
he said, "Hey, come get stem cell treatment."
Yeah, we digressed a little bit.
We did, but I get the stem cell treatment. He said, "Okay, do the stem cell treatment. It's 15 minutes. It's about $5,000." I injected into my knee. No benefit for 3 weeks.
Okay.
It was actually hurt more. And then week 4, I woke up and the pain was gone.
Just gone.
It was gone. And that was 10 years ago. Haven't had any issues
And
since.
explain how that's not a fluke, because people will say, oh, well, whatever, it's just one story. There's a lot of stories.
There are thousands and thousands of cases of dramatic results and improvement from the use of stem cells and exosomes. And they've been all over the world, from Latin America, Russia, China, Asia, all over Europe and the USA. So it's hard for me to, when I hear people say, stem cells aren't, they're not right, or
not
they don't work.
They don't work.
Yeah, you have to look at, what's the source you're getting it from? That's important. You have to have the high quality source.
And I want to talk about sourcing too.
Yeah.
I think it's really important,
Well, and what we talked about earlier too was about the testing. I think it's important that people are looking at testing, because so you can have someone that's actually very healthy receive regenerative therapy or biologics, stem cells, exosomes, and not feel any benefit. And that happens a lot actually, because they're already pretty healthy, but you don't know where they're going in the body. And if you have some issue, you might not feel it.
I'll give you a story.
That's where the testing is important. You do a test before and a test after.
That's what happened to me.
Okay.
So I did it when I did my first, and I didn't even do the stem cells. I did the exosomes.
Okay.
So I did the exosomes. I just did the IV push.
Okay.
I flooded my system, and within a couple of weeks, my shoulder no longer. I couldn't do a push-up, bro.
Wow.
25 years of bodybuilding, it happens.
Yeah.
So I couldn't do a push-up. I couldn't box.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to go fight. I was supposed to go to the event to go box with Andrew Tate and a bunch of other guys.
Yeah.
So get punched in the face by Tate would have been fun.
Yeah.
I'll have to postpone that one. So, I do that. My shoulder feels better. I feel kind of like I don't have a lot of aches and pains.
So you didn't have like this dramatic improvement. It's just all of a sudden you slowly realized that
realized it just started to kind of correct. And I'm like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
I do it again. I don't have any pains that are lingering or anything that I'm really bothered by. I live a pretty healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
But I notice like a brain boosting feeling. I notice this euphoria. I notice that I'm sharper, faster. I was sleeping, but I'm like, there's no way that's exosomes. There's no way.
Yeah.
But when you're flooding your system, when you're doing the systemic approach like that, I guess if it's not going anywhere, it could go to your brain, right?
Well,
it could.
And these communication, I mean, they are intercellular communicators.
Sure.
And so I feel like it's like homing devices in your body, and they know where to go.
Okay.
It's like they go to where the areas of inflammation are.
So they'll go everywhere, anywhere it's needed.
It's amazing. And they've done some tests. They did a trial in, I think it was New Zealand, where they took pigs and they made an incision in the hearts of the pigs. And then they sewed it up.
Okay.
And then they injected stem cells into the pig through the muscle. And I got to get the data. I'll send you this report. I got to research it. But
we can put it up on the screen.
It was
show the research
it was
data.
like within 48 hours, it was like 85-90% of all the cells that they'd injected had gone to the area of inflammation in the heart.
Interesting.
So it was interesting because and then they did another test where they injected in the shin, and they had an incision in the calf. And they coated them with an isotope, and they watched the cells go right through to the area of inflammation on the incision. So they really are amazing. There's like a homing intercellular communication that they know where to go.
Well, I talk about it all the time, and I say our bodies are remarkable healing machines.
Yeah.
And when we're adding something like stem cells, and I mean, we're actually above my clinic right now, so we're right above us by our rejuvenation clinic below us.
Right.
Which we work with you guys.
Right.
And we're using the peptide therapy, the hormones, everything like that to optimize the body to heal itself.
Right.
This is like the next level. This is the next generation of healing itself. But I love that it's like kind of like it gives the body its natural ability back, especially when we're a little bit older. I'm 40.
Yeah.
My body's not going to heal like it did when it was 20.
Right.
So adding these extra things in there, it kind of turns the clock back. I mean, it's real anti-aging.
Well, and if you do that in conjunction with your other tools, there's a difference. And I've said, like, let's say we all die at 80. Okay, that's the average 82.
I'm shooting for 120, bro.
I know, and I love it. But let's just say average person is 80 years old.
Yeah.
The question isn't, okay, are you going to live to 80? You all should live to at least 80. But it's okay from 50 to 80. How are you going to live? And that's where I look at the vitality curve.
Yep.
Is there's a big difference between someone who's 60 and unhealthy and 60 and that's healthy.
Oh yeah.
So I had this epiphany. I was actually in Peru. So we were doing this. I was doing a service project in Peru, and we're walking through Cusco. And if you've ever been to Cusco, Cusco's very high. It's almost.
I know Cusco, but I've never been there. I need to go there.
Yeah, it's almost 10,000. It's a beautiful place. Almost 10,000
Let's go
feet
hiking.
high. Let's do it. And when I'm there with two 70-year-olds, they're both 71. Okay, we're doing a humanitarian trip, and they
going all the way that high.
Yeah, well, you fly into Cusco. Cusco's very high already. It's like 8,000 or something, very high. And what was interesting is these two 70-year-olds. One of them could barely walk, had no desire, not excited, very lethargic, and the other one was leading the group. I was following him. And at the time I was, 27 years old or something. And I was following this guy, and he's leading. He's going. Now, what's interesting is both of them were very wealthy. Both of them successful businessmen. They had the same resources. But one was living life to the fullest still at 71. And the other one was barely moving at 71. And so you have to say, this is what my epiphany that I had back when I was younger was, okay, what are these two doing? And what actions are they taking now or back before that led to where they are. And that's when I look at cellular therapies, biologics, and modalities, peptides, things like that, they're all just part of the process.
Yeah.
So you're saying, okay, I want to live to at least 100, 120. Great. We can do that. And we have the technology now to do that.
Yeah.
But the things you do now in your 30s, 40s, 50s make a big difference. And it's hard. It's not easy. I mean, it is difficult to say no to the Danish dessert. It's difficult to say no to the cappuccino. But you have to start making those decisions, those small decisions, because they add up.
Well, metabolic disease is like the biggest issue in this country specifically.
Right.
Like metabolic syndromes, metabolic disease, obesity.
Yeah.
Did you see the stats for the obesity stuff?
I've seen some. I don't know.
It's bad. It's like Gary. What do we find out? 68% or something like that, or considered overweight or obese in America?
It was over half.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was in the 60s, or maybe it was 62%. I might be overreaching with 68. Sounds better though.
But it's a lot. And well, heart disease is still the number one killer.
Which is coming from what?
Well, obesity,
metabolic issue, obesity.
Yeah.
So it's like, when you look at that, your lifestyle choices make a huge difference. But your comparison between the two 70-year-olds or 71-year-olds, we see that constantly.
Yeah.
We see these people that aren't moving, and you said they're both the same wealth.
Yeah, they're both wealthy enough.
Yeah, wealthy enough to where they can make a difference.
Yeah.
So I mean, how old are you? If you don't mind me.
At the time?
No, how old are you right now?
44.
44.
Yeah.
Bro, you don't look 44.
No, I look very tired right now.
I just got off a plane an hour and a half ago, so I hear you.
It's been a brutal couple of weeks. But
you don't look 44.
Well, thank you.
And there's a reason for that. You're in shape, and you just had a bicep surgery. You're still in shape.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm down 15 pounds. I lost a lot of my muscle. But
can you show that scar real quick? Because I want to.
I don't know if you can see it, but the scar's almost non-existent. It's amazing, and I'm a believer in the products.
When was that surgery done?
This was 7 weeks ago.
And you have pretty much full function. You
can full function, and I'm the PT said I'm ahead of schedule. I'm doing great. I can start lifting next week. So, yeah, it's good. And that's the power of lifestyle paired with biologics.
Yes.
And if you do it, so when I look at, there's a lot of noise in the regenerative medicine, in the supplementation space.
Oh, people are getting inundated by advertising right now, by the way.
Oh, yeah. And it's difficult. Do this product, do that product. And the mantra that you get what you pay for, it's real.
With this modality.
Yeah.
I say with medicine in general.
Yeah, with medicine in general. Yeah. I think you do get what you pay for. And there's a reason why certain places cost more and they charge a premium for their services. And I'll just say, when you go to, let's say, for example, you go get a cheap energy drink. It's going to be loaded with fillers and junk. And when you go to a nicer store and you get a pure, like yerba mate, it's a cold infused tea that's a natural caffeine. I mean, yes, it might be more expensive, but the process is better, and the outcome will be better generally as well. Yeah. It's the same thing with regenerative medicine. You go to a nice clinic like yours. Yes, it might be more expensive than the Botox center down the street, but you have better staff, better training, better tools you're using, and better products.
Yeah.
And there is a difference because there's ranges of prices, and it's not apples to apples. We tested, we asked 3 different clinics, one in Panama, Mexico, and Costa Rica. And none of the 3 could tell us where their stem cells were from.
I'll give you a story, and you wouldn't believe this in Dubai.
Okay.
I told you this privately.
Yeah.
So I'll tell everybody watching right now. So I'm in Dubai, and I'm like, all right, well, we're going to build our clinic out here. I want to see what's the market look like, who's doing stem cells, who's not. And I start asking them questions, and I'm like, and I'm going to the top. I'm talking, we're at the Royal Atlantis on the Palm. Yeah. I mean, one of the most expensive hotels in Dubai.
Right.
And I'm there, and there's this awesome clinic down there, and I'm like, hey, you guys are doing stem cells, you guys are doing exosomes, and I was ready to pay a premium. These guys are charging like 10 grand for 1 ml of exosomes that were like 80 billion cells, so way less than what we offer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, can you show me the sterility report? Can you show me the efficacy report? Can you show me where's this coming from?
Right.
All they were able to say is, oh, well, it's getting shipped from overseas. I said, okay, well, slight red flag because is it being shipped on
Is
cryo?
it coming from Ukraine, from abortions, or is it coming from where?
They
where's
wouldn't
it
tell
coming
me.
from? Oh,
So
interesting.
this is
Yeah.
what they wouldn't tell me. So I went through 3 different clinics.
Yeah.
Every single one of them, this is proprietary. This is secret. We can't give you this information. I'm like, red flag, red flag, red flag. And then as soon as I said that, I'm like, oh, this is going to be easy. I said, because I'm all about transparency. I want to tell the patient, not only is this clean product, not only is this good product, I'm going to show you how it's stored. I'm going to show, we're not trying to hide anything.
Yeah.
But when I see clinics doing this and hiding this information, just like you said, 3 clinics that you went to, hiding the information, well, you don't know if these are clean products. You don't know if the hosts or if the baby itself or where this stuff is coming from. I've even heard horror stories of animal stem cells being used on humans. Have you heard that?
Well, we've got sheep.
Yeah.
And rabbit and lamb. And there was a case in Asia where 3 very prominent politicians, they got treated with some animal cells, and all 3 of them passed away.
Yeah, it can give you cancer. It can give you like massive immune response.
Plant cells are, there's a lot of plant stem cells, a lot of them used in facial products.
Sure.
And so you have to look and say, okay, well, why is a human cell, what's the difference between a human cell and a plant cell, and what's the effectiveness on using a plant stem cell, and is that really worth it, or should I just use a plant oil?
Mm-hmm.
So, but you're exactly right, and that transparency is important.
Well, why are they not giving that transparency is more my issue.
Yeah.
I'm a paying
And
customer.
do they know?
Well, they probably don't.
So when we asked these 3 clinics, they didn't even know where they're from.
Or were they hiding it?
No, I don't think they knew.
Okay, that's even scarier.
I think they didn't even. I don't even think they knew.
That's actually scary.
And so like when you're dealing with human cell and tissue products, it's like, okay, well, was it from is it a donated umbilical cord placenta, or is it just some random person? And what's the health? Was it tested for genetic markers? So those are the questions I think people forget to ask, and they just say, oh, I'm just going to get stem cell treatment. And they need to look and say, okay, well, where is it from? And there's just like people, you look around, like there's someone who at this and this area and this area, they can be dramatically different in their health.
The 2 71-year-olds.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing, yeah.
Now, so everybody's talking, when people think about stem cells, they automatically say stem cells don't work in America. Or they'll say it's illegal in America, or they'll say ... all these different things, right?
Yeah.
We could bring up a whole list of misnomers about stem cells, exosomes, all these things in America.
Yeah.
And they say the only real stem cells are in Colombia and Venezuela and Mexico and all this stuff. What are you saying to that now? Because times have changed.
Yeah, well, so first of all, a lot of the clinics in Mexico get their stem cells from the USA. So they're shipping from companies like ours from the USA to Mexico, particularly in Tijuana and Puerto Vallarta, and some in Cancun and Tulum area.
Okay,
and it's not that their centers they're great centers. They're do good treatments, but if you're in the U.S., there's places you can go in the USA. You can come to Florida very quickly. You can go to Utah very quickly. You can go to Washington. And some of the states are right to try states. Now, it's important to understand that the FDA, they don't tell doctors what they can and can't do. And the FDA more regulates what can and can't be sold, and how it's being sold, and how it's being marketed. And so, like in Florida, stem cells are completely legal for certain conditions, and Utah same. And so I don't think it's people in the USA. They can do stem cell treatments. They can do exosome treatments. They can do these things in the USA. They just have to know where to get them.
Got it.
And so, like, come to Florida. Come look at your clinic and see, hey, what can we do? And what's interesting. So I see a lot of med spas and aesthetic clinics. And when you do a exosome facial, the before and afters are stark, and there's a stark difference.
Yeah,
it's really, really remarkable. And some of the healing, even just like my scar. This is I scar pretty bad usually, and this is completely smooth.
Yeah.
So they do work. They are effective. and they can be done here in the USA.
Yeah. So, and are there some bad actors? Not saying these Mexico clinics or these Colombia clinics are bad necessarily. Are there some bad actors overseas, and is there less regulation and less oversight? I've seen it.
Absolutely. So let me explain kind of how. So when you have, let's say you take an umbilical cord. Now inside the umbilical cord, it's about 85% of what's called Wharton's jelly, which is mostly stem cells. Okay, these are perfect stem cells. Now what they will do is they will put them on a petri dish. And there's two types of culture methods. One is a 2D culture, which is like a flat petri dish. Another is a 3D culture, which is it's a 3D matrix, and that's how you grow them. It's much harder, much more expensive, and difficult to do. So most labs will do a 2D culture. So they take it and then they try and expand. It's called cellular expansion. So it's basically growing.
They're replicating, duplicating
on a petri dish. Got it. And so you'll do that in phases. So you have P0, which would be your initial, and then P1. And P1 is almost always thrown away. And you have P2, 3, and 4. Okay, 2, 3, and 4 are the best. Okay, that's where you want to if you're doing cellular expansion. Now that it's not legal in the USA, just so we're clear.
Okay,
that's considered manipulated, and that's considered a drug in the USA. So you're not supposed to use those. There are clinics that do them. I will let you know. But so they expand it. But as a lab, their incentive, or a company, their incentive is to keep expanding past phase 4.
After phase 4, it's less efficacious.
You decrease. Yeah, just like a copy machine.
Got it.
It gets worse and worse and worse. And so after phase 4, you lose efficacy. So when you go to another clinic somewhere, you don't know, are you getting phase 4, phase 3, or are you getting phase 20? Oof. I mean, we went to a clinic, what was it, in Asia, they were on, what was it, passage, like, 20. It was like, 22, I think is what they said. And so, and they said they go up to, I think it was 35, I can't remember exactly. They were out of Malaysia. And
is that getting less and less efficacious?
Yes, absolutely.
Like drastically?
Drastically.
Okay.
And so when companies are talking about quantity of cells or cell count, you know almost immediately that that's a expanded product.
Got it.
Now, it's not that, I don't mean to say that expanded products don't work, because they do. But first of all, they're not legal in the US.
Okay.
But you have to be careful, know who you're using when it's an expanded product, because are you using phase 2, 3, 4 like you should be, or are you using 10, 12, 13, 20? And that's where I think people have problems. And so I've seen people, they go down, they talk these huge numbers. I'm getting 100 million, 200 million, 300 million stem cells. And I'm looking at it saying, okay, well, are they good, or are they bad? And why do you need so many?
Yeah.
Because like with mine, I got 1 cc in my knee, and it worked perfectly. Now in a natural product, you will have one vial. If you counted the cells, there's variation, but you would have anywhere from like 5 million to maybe 11 million.
What are the ones I'm going to do today? Because I'm going to do 1 ml in each shoulder.
Yeah, so you should have 6 to 10 million per each
ml.
Each ml, yeah.
But these are not.
Those are natural. That's the natural state. Yeah.
But these are not
expanded.
Not expanded, not duplicated.
Expanded. Yeah. So in an expansion, you can do 5, 10. I think you can get to 25 million in 1 ml.
Now, is that non-expanded? Is that the most efficacious?
So here's why it's different. Let's explain, because it's different. So the expansion cells would be pure stem cells only. Now you have to look at what's the medium they're being grown in. Is it 2D or is it the 3D? 3D matrix is more natural. Okay, so that's better. 3D is better. But then you have to say, okay, well, what's the environment? Is it a natural environment? Or is it, I mean, obviously it's in a petri dish. It's not a natural environment.
Sure.
So you miss out on some of the intercellular communication that is natural, occurring in an umbilical cord natural product.
Got it.
So when you have a natural product that has all the growth factors, all the chemokines, cytokines, the secretomes, the microvesicles, you're getting more than just the stem cell. And we just met with a PhD who was saying his belief was that it wasn't the stem cells, it was the matrices around the stem cells, the secretomes and exosomes that were actually more effective.
Ooh.
Now, so that's interesting. There's a lot of science. This is what fascinates me about regenerative medicine is there's so many questions that we don't know. And with George W. Bush kind of putting the kibosh on stem cells and stem cell research back 20 years ago, it really hindered what was happening in stem cell studies and
in America specifically?
In the USA specifically. Yeah. But look, in China, they just cured someone with diabetes, type 1 diabetes.
I saw that.
And that's amazing. So you say, okay, how many people have diabetes? It goes back to metabolism.
Yeah.
Metabolic syndrome.
Yeah. Well, and type 1 you're born with.
Right. And so what if you could cure that? And then you look at Parkinson's. I just heard yesterday.
I don't know if they want to cure that, brother.
Well, they should want to.
A lot of treatment out there.
I actually believe that most medical professionals are really in it for the right reasons.
Yes.
The problem with the medical system is you have so much oversight from insurance companies and pharmaceutical companies. They come out with lots of debt. It's almost impossible to practice medicine the way they may have intended to.
Sure.
So it's difficult. It's difficult to be in the medical field in the USA, but I think there's a lot of opportunity to change. And I love what's happening in the USA where we're looking at other modalities, even red light therapy. Yeah. I mean, you have some beautiful red light machines downstairs.
Have one right downstairs.
Yeah, and you're saying why red light therapy maybe 10 years ago was really woo-woo, but they've shown the data that red light therapy works. It helps with intercellular inflammation, and there's a product I want to develop. I'm not going to divulge it right now, but it's using light therapy.
Hush, hush.
For cellular activation. It's really exciting.
Yeah. So after I get the stem cells today, so I'm gonna try to do the stem cells and exosomes today.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna jump in the red light bed. Do it afterwards.
So I would the ideal, as I'd say, do 5 to 10 minutes before.
Okay.
And then do it, and then do 10 to 20 minutes after.
Okay.
That would be your ideal.
Perfect. And I have that Da Vinci Medical Theralite bed downstairs. So, yeah.
It's a great system. And there's what you want to do. It goes back to your state. You need to when you're receiving any medical care, you want to be as calm as possible.
Yes.
And you want to be in a state where you're able to receive. And this goes back to the kind of the Eastern medicine.
I want to talk about that a little bit. I want to get into this energy thing, bro, because I talk about energy all the time.
Yeah.
And again, now people are going to be like, wow, these guys got really scientific and technical. They're getting into the woo-woo energy and stuff like that. But it's not. It's real.
Well, look, there are studies. Look, okay, let me just say this, okay? This isn't a study. But if someone walks in the room, and let's say you're at your desk doing something, and they're really angry, you will feel and know that they're angry without looking at them. And same thing if they're happy. So that to me is the quickest way to show to someone that, look, we are giving out, and you can feel someone's energy all the time.
Frequency.
Our frequency. And they've done studies. They've shown that, look, if you're in the lower levels of frequencies, so you're in anger, jealousy, greed, envy, these revenge. When you're in those frequencies, you're in a lower frequency, and then they have higher frequencies like joy and happiness and love. Those are your high frequencies. Courage is kind of your start point of the best frequencies. Courage. So when you get into those frequencies, I think it definitely changes your parasympathetic state, and there have been studies on this. Dr. Joe Dispenza has done a ton of studies on this stuff.
Did you see the water study, the snowflake study or something?
Yeah.
Did you ever see that one?
Yeah. One, the way they look, I mean, it's
super cool.
Yeah.
Or like plants. Plants are mostly water. We're mostly water-based, by the way.
Yeah.
You know, so when you look at that and you're like, okay, if you're giving angry words and angry ideas to plant or to water, the way that it reacts is different than if you're giving positive vibes and good energy and everybody's like, oh, I can hear it right now. The groans. the groans just happened on YouTube. Oh, here we go, energy and stupid stuff. No, it's real. It's real. I was a little bit bogged down this morning. I don't know if you realized. I don't know if
you actually in your text. I actually, it was weird. You sent me a text. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna let him chill for a little bit.
Yeah, no, it was beautiful. So, and I'm happy you picked up on it. But as soon as I saw you, your positive energy, and then my excitement to have this conversation lightened me up a little bit. So being around.
It's like they say the one bad apple will ruin the batch, right?
Sure.
And I think that's the same for good and bad. And if you have someone that's overwhelmingly happy and positive, it can improve everyone. And same if they're bad.
Yeah.
Same thing. So I think that's important that we realize that. That's why the daily routines are important.
And I'm out of my daily routine because I flew this morning at
travel's
5
hard.
in the morning.
Yeah. Chris hates it when I talk about daily routines. He's like, don't talk about that. They want to hear the science. He always says that. But the truth is those small details, that's what changes long-term outcome.
Yep.
And if you have integrated regenerative medicine and rejuvenation as part of your daily routine, and then you get boosters, I mean, it's game over. And there's a reason why a lot of the celebrities that I've met, there's a reason why they look different, much younger.
Oh, yeah.
And it's because they're doing both the daily and then they're doing the boosters.
Yeah, I mean, this has been around in Hollywood for a long time. And I talk about Hollywood having peptides, having HRT in their protocols.
Yeah.
Why can Brad Pitt, why can The Rock, why can all these people well into their 40s and 50s? Did you see Brad Pitt in the recent movie?
Amazing.
In F1.
Yeah.
The guy looked awesome. He looked great.
Yeah.
Why is he able to look great like that, and why do you see so many people that aren't? Well, he's doing the right protocols, he's living the right lifestyle, and he's got things like this regenerative medicine practices.
But what I love is a lot of the things that the celebrities are doing are available to us right now.
100%.
It's not out of reach for anyone.
All of this stuff is available literally downstairs.
Exactly. And it's not out of reach.
Yeah.
People can do that right now. They can implement small things. They can do cellular therapy. They can do these things right now. It's not out of reach for the normal person. And I think that's something that people don't realize. You don't have to be someone rich and famous to get a lot of these treatments and to start implementing these things correctly.
And lifestyle first.
Yeah.
I say this all the time. By the way, did you ever see me do this?
I have not seen you do it, but I've seen other people do it.
You've seen other people do it? Yeah, the salt with the lemon. This is a hack.
Actually, there was an interesting study about salt. I grew up, everyone was saying low fat, low salt. And they just came out with a study. I think it was Harvard or Yale. I can't remember which one it was. But I'll find the study, I can send it to you. And it showed that people that had a more sodium intake had a 40% decrease in major chronic diseases. So the whole idea with taking less salt is good for you is actually not. The problem, I think, is a lot of times salt intake is associated with junk foods like chips and French fries and things like that. And so, but like a pure salt in your water and lemon and things like that are great.
Well, I stopped drinking. I was drinking like Element. I was drinking like all these different. And did you find what did Element get called out on? They had they had maltodextrin.
Their panel wasn't matching up. Their ingredient panel wasn't matching up to the.
Their ingredient panel had no artificial sweeteners, no sugar, no anything. And then somebody tested it and had maltodextrin in it.
Interesting.
Which is literally the worst you could put in there.
Spike your blood sugar.
Spike your blood sugar. Is super toxic. Has a bunch of inflammatory stuff. So I stopped drinking that, and now I drink sparkling water, Maldon salt, and lemon. It's like making my own Gatorade. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and it's not that expensive.
No.
It's a small thing you can do. And that's where, when you look at the energies, there's a lot of little things you can do. Meditation, walking. I have a very good friend. He walks 10 to 20,000 steps a day. And he does his phone calls out in the sun. And it's simple things like that lead to good health and longevity. And movement. You add in, it's interesting. I also have a good friend. He's a alcoholic. I mean, half a liter of vodka almost every day. Oof. So, but you know what he does? Every month, he does stem cell treatments every month. and they tested his liver, and his liver is almost perfect.
We're not advocating
now,
for this, by the way.
I'm not advocating that. I'm not advocating that, but I'm just showing that that's
two
an
wellness
example.
experts. We are not advocating.
not at all. Not at all. But there's
newsflash. By the way, you can have a whole liter of vodka.
No,
Holy
don't do
shit.
that. Don't do that. But I'm just highlighting that these technologies are powerful.
Yeah.
And they're readily available for you and I and everyone.
Yeah.
Especially here in the U.S. Come to Florida, Utah. There's a few other places that do it throughout the U.S. as well. And it is legal.
Yeah. Now, can we go over some of the misnomers? Because some of the wild claims. Do you have my phone? Bring my phone over here, Alejandro, if you don't mind. If she pops into the cameras as my wonderful assistant.
Yeah.
So, I want to go over the top, and I have these somewhere in here in my notes. Some of the top, kind of like.
Now, let me remind everyone, okay,
sure.
I'm not a PhD and I'm not a doctor. I'm
it's
all
okay.
self-taught. Okay, I work with a lot of
we'll
doctors and
everybody.
PhDs.
We'll remind everybody, but we are both not doctors.
This is not medical advice. Okay?
Well, we are wellness experts. I don't care what you say, bro. You are an expert. The conversations that I've had with you you have an astounding amount of information in that brain.
Well, I appreciate it.
One of the big ones is stem cells cause cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Can we go through why people are saying that and why people think that?
Well, okay, so first of all, you need to understand cancer is very nuanced. There's all types of cancers, and all throughout, everywhere in the body.
Yep.
You can have cancer. And there are certain things that if you have, you should be very careful and talk to your doctor about autoimmune issues and cancer specifically before you do regenerative medicine. You need to make sure you understand and you've done the research. Now, there are hundreds of studies about cancer specifically and stem cells helping with the cancers, okay? And anyone can go to PubMed and there's a lot in India, China, and Europe have done many studies on this. Southeast Asia too, some very good research organizations there as well. And when you have, okay, so back to the birth mother who has cancer, and that cancer does not spread to the child. You have to ask yourself, okay, why is that cancer not spreading to your child? Now, I would say it's probably because of the stem cells.
Because it's basically not allowing
the
it.
stem cells are somehow stopping the cancer from entering into the child's body.
Is there any data that shows that stem cells can heal cancer?
There is. That's what I said.
Okay.
You got to look at the research in many of these places. There are some very ones, but you have to. They don't. As far as I understand, I've not seen that stem cells cause cancer. Now, if you have a pre-existing condition, like I said, you need to be very careful and work with your practitioner. But there are some PhDs who say stem cells from fetal tissue, so abortions, will cause cancer.
Okay, so
now,
that's a very important distinction.
And this is why it's nuanced. You have to be very careful on who you're listening to. You have to do the research.
Yeah.
Because it's important to understand what it is you're putting in your body, and where is it sourced, where is it from, that kind of thing.
Got it. So I have a little list. GPT helped me because I couldn't find my list.
Yeah.
Which is I
need my GPT to help answer the question.
No, you do not.
That's not fair.
So can stem cells quote unquote cure everything? Obviously the answer is no. Can it help your body heal itself in many different ways?
So here's how I like to think about it. Okay. As we age, our mitochondrial function goes down.
Yep.
Okay. Now, as our mitochondrial function goes down, everything in our body doesn't work as well. Okay. We get wrinkles. We don't sleep as well.
It's aging.
Yeah. Our hair turns gray. All these different things, right? This is part of our mitochondrial function going down.
Yep.
Okay. Now, if you can keep your mitochondrial function high, you will be more healthy. So when you add in brand new cells with perfect functioning mitochondria that are then replicating in your body and full-length telomeres, well, what is that going to do to your body? And will that make you younger? That's the question you have to ask yourself, and you know my answer.
Yeah.
But when we look at aging and longevity, we have to look at mitochondrial function. We have to look at this. There's some very, very interesting DNA methylation testing you can do, and these are not expensive tests.
We do them at the clinic too.
Yeah, there's some really inexpensive tests. I mean, $200 to $500. You get them every 4 months, 6 months, every year, and then you can see your markers. You know exactly where you are and what's happening, and that'll show you. Okay, look, how are you aging? So when you get new stem cells, new exosomes in your body, you're supporting the natural mitochondrial function of your body.
Makes sense. Yeah. Stem cell results, because people are and especially right now. I mean, we're filming this in 2025. Everybody is in a instant gratification place.
Yeah.
Right. Everything is now.
Yeah.
Can stem cells give immediate relief? Is it possible? How long does it take? And we talked about this earlier. You know, stem cells travel, right? So can stem cells, like, let's say you inject them in a knee, right? You may not necessarily feel relief and maybe going to heal something else you don't even know about.
Right. Well, okay, so here's what I'll say is that I see people that have questions all the time about, hey, I've got this issue, and they're, let's say, 50 years old. Well, it took them probably 20 years to develop that issue. And for them to just expect an overnight change or outcome is not the right mindset.
Well, it's not magic.
No, and you have to support the body's natural processes. And that's what cellular therapies do, is they support the natural processes of the body. So it can, I mean, even with my knee, it took 4 weeks before I felt anything. And some people, it takes 2 or 3 treatments.
Sure.
Okay. And this is why I like the testing, is because you can do a test and show you are here. And then you might get therapy and you might not feel any benefit, but then you get the test again and you show it there was improvement.
Sure.
That's why I like testing, because you have real data around what's happening. But often I see people, it takes 2 treatments. It might take 3 treatments, but it happens. It's just, things don't heal overnight. I mean, as healthy as I am, this is 7 weeks to get to here right now.
What? It should have been 16.
Well, yeah, I'm in a good spot.
Yeah.
For sure. But the doc's still saying, oh, give it another week before you lift weight, and then start low, 5-10 pounds. And so start low and slowly build up. But the body takes time to heal, and it does it correctly. The body doesn't rush. It takes 9 months to grow a human. And so you have to look at that and say, okay, if I rush things too quickly, and this happens in sports all the time, they'll get injured. Let's say they tear an ACL at the beginning of the season. They're, oh, I'm going to make it to the end. And then they get the last couple games, and they hurt it again because they didn't allow enough time to heal. Now you have people like even Kobe Bryant. He went to Europe and got, I think he got several stem cell injections, and he had dramatic healing for his ankle. And there's a lot of things that you can be done, but it still takes time. And you shouldn't expect these overnight miracles. Now, I will say, some people, they will have a dramatic result, and there are those people. But I would say that's the outlier more than the norm.
Got it. Are professional athletes using stem cells right now in the U.S.? And is that considered, like, should that be considered anti-doping? Should that be considered anything like that? I personally think most of the anti-doping, like with peptides, is ridiculous. I think if LeBron James needs some BPC 157 so he can heal a little bit faster.
So you can't use peptides?
No. They can't use 8. Well, they do. Yeah. I mean, they do, by the way. They do. They're all using performance-enhancing drugs. I'm sorry to tell you this.
Well, you look at protein powder. Okay, so I was talking to some guy, and he said, oh, I'm all natural. And he was taking about 150 grams of protein powder a day. And I said, okay, well, is that natural? And he said, well, I'm not taking any Anavar. I'm not taking any...
Anavar's great, by the way.
I'm not taking whatever it is. But he wasn't... So in his mind, he was natural. But you have to look and say, okay, was that natural? Is anything we do natural?
Yeah.
I mean, we're not working in the farm anymore, digging and chopping wood And so we have to do unnatural things to be at our peak performance.
Sure.
And like weightlifting, I mean, is it natural to sit and bench press? I don't think that's natural, but that's a natural thing that we do.
It's a nuanced conversation, right?
Yeah, and so when I look at
But do you think
cellular
cells,
therapy,
yeah.
I think athletes absolutely should be doing it. I look at Moneyball as an example. That's a small little tweak that you can do, and you should be doing to enhance your body, and help your body support the natural processes. And I mean, when I look at stem cells are and exosomes, they're as natural as they come. Mm-hmm. They're in our body now, and they're part of our body. It's how we started life.
Yeah.
So that's my answer.
Awesome.
Yes, they're legal. They're not considered a PED.
They're not considered a PED.
They're not a PED. Okay.
Awesome. Yeah, good.
There we go.
So athletes, you can use stem cells.
And they should be.
And you should be, yeah. I mean,
and I'll just say, look, I've talked to several owners of NFL teams, owners of Major League Baseball, and NBA teams, and they're all interested in these therapies because it is something that dramatically helps.
Yeah, I mean, could it improve performance? I guess it could, but improving healing is what it's really
for. It would improve the inflammation.
Yeah.
So you go have a hard football game, you have major inflammation after that.
Oh yeah.
And so you look at what they've done up to this point. I mean, cold therapy, heat therapy, some light. Some of them use lasers even. Mm-hmm. Those are all to help inflammation, and they should include exosomes and stem cells. If it was my opinion,
I agree.
Yeah. If I was an owner of an NBA team, NBA or Major League Baseball, NFL, rugby, soccer, any of these, I would absolutely make sure that I had a budget set aside for my teams to utilize cellular therapy regularly.
Yes, this is a pitch. We're going to going to get these professional sports teams on these things because it's important.
They should be. I mean, we're here in Orlando. I mean, you should talk to the Orlando Magic.
Yep.
And you're right by Tampa. We should talk to the Tampa Buccaneers. I mean, they should be utilizing these, and they can do a case study and show the improvement. Because look, it's entertainment, it's sports, and if you have an athlete that gets injured that you can bring back into the season, what does that make you as an owner?
Sure.
And your franchise and your potential to perform better? What's that worth to you?
Yeah.
You're investing a lot. Can you
also caring about your athletes? You care about your athletes.
Absolutely.
You want them healthy. You want them healing. It's a remarkable thing. All right,
you force your athletes to do certain things, to exercise and stuff like that. Let's force them
to heal.
Yeah, let's improve.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
In your opinion, and I'm asking this specifically, and I know you know that I'm going to Dubai in a couple of weeks to a Futurist conference, a Futurist X conference. That's the 22nd, 23rd, Gary, of this month in Jumeirah. So I'm talking about the future of medicine there. Mm-hmm. Are stem cells and regenerative medicine is this modality that we've been talking about for the last hour or so? Is this the future of medicine? Is this where the future is going?
Answer is yes, and some.
Okay.
Because there'll be other things. I think stem cells with peptides, stem cells with different frequency healing is very interesting. I mean, I know a group that they put a laser through their stem cells before they inject them every time. And they say it improves the outcomes. And there's some very cool research happening in biologics in general. And everyone's talking about living longer, living better. Mm-hmm. So stem cells should be part of your protocol. Exosomes should be part of your protocol. Not just for aging and looking good. Yes, it will help with that, but more on the cellular level of helping you live longer, better.
So actually increasing your health span. So the future of medicine, I think, is in this internal healing part.
Yep.
You know, and the after effect, which is great, as you look younger, you feel younger.
Yeah, you
more
feel
vibrant.
better.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a guy, a gentleman call me, and he was an older gentleman, about 65. He called me, David, I'm feeling better than I've ever felt before. And so he said,
was that his actual voice?
It was exactly like his voice. He's a good friend of mine. And he says, I don't know what you did to me, but I feel amazing. And I said, well, it's awesome. I'm so glad. I won't share everything that he shared with me, but he is. It was just an example of when you have someone that's at this level, and you give them something that gives them a big uptick, it changes them. It's like a new level.
Yeah.
And we're living in. I mean, we've got frequencies all around us all the time. We've got radiation around us all the time. Anytime we fly, we've got pollutions and foods and glyphosate and all this stuff. So it's like our cells are always going down.
Yeah.
So if we can have something that helps us get back to better levels, then absolutely it should be something you're doing.
It's awesome, man. I really love the conversation, and it's not going to be our last podcast. It's not going to be
we got to talk about business, about entrepreneurship. We got to talk so many other things.
And not to divulge too much information, but we have some business transactions that we're going to be doing together as well, and I'm super excited to, be collabing with you, be friends with you, and I already have you linked up with some people in Thailand.
Yeah.
That already want some of this product, and we're going to be bringing this to the UAE, to the GCC region. I'm really excited for the future. I'm really excited for the future of medicine. And I love that somebody like you is in this as well. Because, not just a doctor, not just somebody who's a medical expert or a wellness expert or something like that. You're a real life example. You've actually had this treatment. It helped you. It's still helping you. You have an example from 7-8 weeks ago. You have an example from 10 years ago with your knee. I'm a living example. I'm doing this all the time.
Yeah.
So I love this.
I'll just say, Tomo, there's too many people in medicine that are doing it just for money.
Yeah.
And that's not my purpose. That's not what drives me. And as we collaborate and work with like-minded people, I think this will explode throughout the world. And people are starting to realize that it's not about money. It's about health. It's about people. And that's what's really important.
Yeah, it's truly impact.
And everyone needs to keep having babies so we have good sources of stem cells. So there's my pitch for that.
Make more babies.
Good, healthy families. Yeah.
Our pitch is make more babies.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Go play some Barry White and go make some babies.
That's right.
Man, thank you for coming on. I appreciate you. Yeah, no, it's it's gonna be a really fun journey together.
Yeah, let's do it.